From pastor's daughter to pastor's wife to social media influencer, here's how I would tell the story of how we got here if we were just sitting down, having coffee across the table, talking about our lives. When I started my journey as a social media influencer, I didn't think it would ever go anywhere. I am a conservative Christian, and number one, Christian conservatives aren't super huge on the world of influencing because it comes across vain. And second of all, I wasn't any good at it. I grew my following on Instagram and Facebook kind of on accident at first. I was just trying to make money to provide for our family. Andrew was a lead pastor for several years in Detroit, Michigan, and you don't marry a lead pastor for his money. That is not why you go to Bible school. You go to Bible school. We went to Moody Bible Institute to go into ministry, and that's the only world that I had ever known. So I started doing makeup tutorials on Facebook, which is still my number one monetization platform. When it was 8 years ago. I had a 6-month-old, a 2-year-old, and the makeup videos slowly but surely started doing well. So we started making a couple $100s a month here and there with me doing makeup tutorials every single day. As the months and years went by and this slowly but surely became a fairly steady source of income for us, my husband and I felt convicted by the Lord that we had these platforms, but we weren't being really loudly vocal about our faith. This was my place of work. But I really believe that everything God gives any Christian, whether you work in vocational ministry or in a secular job, we are to honor Him with everything that we have, and that includes where we work. And so I laid it all before the Lord. We basically said, God, this is yours. If you want this to do well, we know that you will. And if you don't, you're gonna close that door, and that is okay. So we started sharing more about our faith, and we also started sharing a lot about Andrew's recovery journey from pornography. He had been addicted for 15 years, and as we walked through that in our marriage, we realized it's not something that's talked a lot about in Christian community. And he's been fully free now since October of 2012. And so we have had the recovery process, which is brutal, but also the healing process. And so that is something that we've been able to be very vocal about, along with talking about married sex lives, which is, again, not something that's talked about a lot in Christian communities. So somehow we've gotten into this world of, I do beauty content still every day. I go live on Facebook and sometimes on Instagram. We talk about all things marriage, sex, thriving as a parent, and then also we talk about pornography recovery, and we actually get to go to the 700 Club and talk live about that story in August, which is really cool. But this has been a wild ride, and I am excited to share on YouTube a little bit more behind the scenes. Andrew and I have a podcast called, it was called Love, Faith, and Fire. We've rebranded it to us again. We're launching a marriage, we'll call it a marriage resource company in a few months. I'm really excited for it. Basically, like all of the resources that we wish were available in one spot will be available in one spot. But we also launched our company Adorned in 2023. It's now 3 years old, and we make luxury hair accessories. We have a manufacturer. I design everything. We did $1 million our first year. We have done better and better each year since then. And, you know, we just keep laying everything before the Lord and wanting to honor and glorify Him. So if that is your vibe, the marriage, the sex, the makeup, all things femininity, I am so glad that you're here. I've never really done YouTube. I tried a while ago, and it just was too much time with everything else we had going on, but this is now what we do full time. And so we're gonna be on here once in a while in short form content, and then every day I'm gonna be posting shorts. So see you there.